So I was gonna make another video about Final Fantasy XIV, how I got into the game and what I love about it, and I still plan to do that, but I have been seeing this conversation pop up a lot lately from other like YouTube Final Fantasy XIV content creators about the community of 14 and how it's becoming toxic and it's elitism versus casual players. So I just kind of want to take a second to talk about that stuff. Namely that the players seem to be so like emotionally involved into the game that they can't take or give criticism on said game. I've been fortunate enough to be in an FC full of people that are not only good friends but pretty frequent raiders and tackle Savage and Extreme and even Ultimate content. Which I haven't done Ultimate, but I have done Savage and Extreme content, and I will hopefully get into Ultimate content at some point. I really want to. But I just want to add real quick that my friends and I, we do talk, and we converse about like some of the failings of 14 and what can be improved upon, like PvP. I mean, let's be honest, PvP is not one of the particular shining pinnacles of 14. The thing I wanted to add though is that I have noticed a shift in players a little after Shadowbringers, but pretty much when I first got into 14, when I was working through the slog that is the MSQ, which really hindered a lot of new players' experiences, but I mean, working on it. As a 5.3 will be it's gonna be cut down a little bit, which is really nice to see. But I did notice at the time when I was a new player, just how generally nice the community of 14 was. They were very willing to teach me and help me, if I was like, needing help and was going slow at a certain point. They were more than willing to help and just accommodate me and, kind of show me the ropes. But nowadays, as I get into new dungeons, like level 80 dungeons and stuff like that, or I do duty roulette and I just, get into pugs, I just don't really see that banter anymore in dungeons. I greet, most people will greet, and then at the end of the dungeon will say, good game. That's about it. It's just, I will talk in between the dungeon, nothing in return. But with that said, though, these days I completely avoid doing duty roulettes or any of the kind without my friends. I won't do it without my friends, because if I do it without my friends, it's just going to be quiet, awkward, silent, and I mean, overall, just kind of boring, if I'm completely honest. So, I cleared all of E1S through E4S in a static, and I loved every second of it. But I do remember a little after running all of that, after clearing the tier, I was just kind of, I don't remember, I was just doing duty roulette as a gunbreaker for some reason. Well, I get into this level 80 dungeon as a gunbreaker, I greet everyone, nobody says anything, so, okay, so we start going forward, I start pulling mobs, we get to the final boss. Everything goes smoothly, but towards the very end, I miss some mechanic or something. I get some sort of debuff. I think I took like a tank buster and I end up dying. But we're like at the last 10% of the boss, so DPS pick it up pretty easily. I get res, take aggro, easy peasy. We're done. At the very end, I say, "Good game, thanks for the run." 2 people leave without saying anything. Last person there just puts, "Learn mechanics." ... and leave. And that was the only interaction I got from those people. Now, maybe it was from overplaying after the Savage tier of E1 through E4S, or what have you, but it just really stung me, and I actually stopped playing 14 for nearly 2 months before getting back on. But nowadays, I completely make sure not to run any dungeon or raids without friends. It's just not something I want to do, because I don't want to deal with the silence and just not even feedback. It's just like, it's just not good feedback. It's just, one word sentences like just, okay, no jokes, no personality, nothing, nothing pertaining to the game. It's just poor attitudes, honestly, which is really sad, because I mean, what really drew me into the game in the first place when I was a new player was the community and how generally nice they are. When I see new players, I try to treat them as kindly as I can, but that's just generally in my nature. I want to help, I want to help new players. And as far as I've seen in my friends, they try to do the same. But basically, if you're a new player to 14, or if you've been playing 14 for years, the basic thing is just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. You know, I get if you want to speed run, you want to like go as fast as possible, and you want to pool everything at once. If your tank or healer hasn't been in that dungeon before, they're probably going to fail you, and it is not their fault. That is your fault for putting them in that situation. Just ask, you know, if you see the sprout, they haven't been there before, just ask if they're okay with trying a big mob at first, you know? But that same thing works the other way around. If you have like a level boosted character in a job or role that you have never done before, like say you like level boost a tank to 70 and you have story skip as well with it, and you just jump right into a level 70 dungeon as a tank, not knowing any of your abilities, rotations, or how to pull mobs with AoEs, or what a tank stance is. Don't do that to people. Do some studying a little bit, and that even goes into a bigger conversation of like being able to accept and take critical feedback, you know? If you want to become a better player, or you just want to be like better in general, you gotta ask for feedback. You have got to ask for feedback, and you've got to be like, you know, what can I do to improve myself? Or do you have any advice for my job? You know, what should I be putting materia in? You know, that's a whole longer conversation, which I did want to make a separate video about taking criticism and stuff as an artist, and I think it would also pertain as a player. There's so many videos of people comparing World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls 14, and they'll state something like they didn't like the slower GCD, and they don't like the heavy, you know, focus on story. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine and perfectly justified. But then you have people in their comments saying like, 14's like the best MMO's ever happened, or, you know, you just didn't give it a good try. A story's like the most amazing thing ever. And it's just, no, that's just so uninviting to the game, and it's so unproductive, and it's just gonna push people away. It doesn't help in any way. That's not good feedback, you know? That's not really helping your argument stating that 14 is a game that's worth playing. You just gotta remember, you know, not everybody enjoys the things of 14 like you do. You know, you could love the story, hate the PvP, and I've met some people that like the PvP but don't really like the story. Even though the PvP, I think, in my opinion, is not that great, but again, that's just my opinion, my subjective opinion, personally. And I'm not gonna let that, impede on somebody else's, gameplay or game style, whatever they want to do. And they're paying for their sub, they could do whatever they want, and that's totally up to them. But yeah, that said, something like a Realm Reborn, like I was saying with how many quests there is, because so many people complained about it, Yoshida and the team have now reworked it and are cutting a lot of the fat off of Realm Reborn. And as of 5.3, it's gonna be a lot shorter, and that's great. That's awesome, and it's because of that actual critical feedback that we are getting that change, and that's awesome. People complained about not being able to fly in a Realm Reborn areas. Now we're gonna get that. There you go, But that's from actual critical feedback. But yeah, I just wanted to say, I love hearing what people think about 14, especially if they come from other MMOs. But shutting people down in their comment section and telling them that they're wrong because they don't enjoy some sort of aspect you like about the game, and being condescending too, it doesn't help, This is a great game with a great community, so let's show that. Yeah, so, I know, I'm gonna make another video about why I love 14 so much, but I did want to, kind of jump into this conversation, but yeah. With all that being said, my name is Slap Happy Drew, and I will, as always, catch you next time. Thanks for watching.